morning, and welcome to this week's edition of Marquette in Motion. We're your hosts, Hallie Kilberg
and Miranda Peters.
Now, we know what you're probably thinking. Only 8 days until the fun holiday.
That's right, only 59 days until Christmas.
Actually, Miranda, I was talking about Halloween, which is a mere 4 days away, and, believe it or not, has religious origins.
Hallie and I are here with some background information on the holiday and, in addition, have a little trivia game for you.
So listeners, grab your paper and pencils now. After the trivia game, there will be even more fun in the show, as in segment 2, Justina will be here discussing Red Ribbon Week, where students pledge to be drug-free.
And although students are free after school this week due to no sports going on, Jeb and Garrett will be here with all the details on how our sports teams are wrapping up their seasons.
Miranda, you really are looking forward to Christmas, aren't you? Do you have a clue, though, what's coming up in segment 3? Well, we'll give you a hint. I think Mr. Keys will be located in the recording studio with a microphone and his Beat Marquette segment. That's right, he'll be interviewing play director Mr. Jeff Tebby.
Too bad we don't have a conservatory. We do, however, have Macy and Amy to round out the show with their Looking Ahead feature.
Now, as we look ahead to next week, Halloween falls on Wednesday. We'd like to take this time to share with you the true meaning of Halloween and enlist your help in a fun little game we're calling Name That Saint.
Halloween, which was first known as Hallows' Eve, was strategically placed on October 31st, the day before All Saints' Day.
Halloween, however, has its roots in the ancient Celtic tribes. On October 31st, the tribes would celebrate the festival of Samhain, or Summer's End. During this festival, Celts believed the souls of the dead, including ghosts, goblins, and witches, returned to mingle with the living. In order to scare away the evil spirits, people would wear masks and light bonfires.
When the Romans conquered the Celts, they added their own touches to the Samhain festival, such as making centerpieces out of apples and nuts for Pomona, the Roman goddess of orchards.
But where does the Christian aspect of the holiday come into play? In 835, Pope Gregory IV moved the celebration for all the martyrs, later referred to as the Saints, from May 13th to November 1st. The night before became known as All Hallows' Eve, or Holy Evening. Eventually, the name was shortened to the current Halloween.
So now, in the spirit of the holiday, we have some Saint as well as Halloween trivia. Pull out those pads of paper and pencils. We're ready to start.
All right, for the first question, what were the original jack-o'-lanterns made from?
Question number 2. What item is banned only during Halloween? That's 12 a.m. October 31st to 12 p.m. November 1st in Hollywood, California.
Number 3. Who was the saint originally known as Saul, who was blinded on the road to Damascus and, prior to his conversion, persecuted Christians?
Question number 4 is, what year did Mother Teresa become a saint?
Number 5. Who is known as the patron saint of farmers?
Number 6. Who is the saint known as Little Flower?
And finally, number 7. A painting of this saint hangs in the hallway right next to the new gym, or the Trinity Center. Name this saint.
Now, in honor of the Saints and All Saints' Day, Marquette STAD members will once again put together an All Saints' Day celebration for grades kindergarten through 5th grade to be held on Thursday, November 1st, held in Kiefer Hall.
And we've put together some more segments for you, beginning with segment 2 and answers to our trivia game. Don't go far. We'll be right back with more Marquette in Motion right after the break.
Welcome back to Marquette in Motion. Here now are the answers to segment 1's trivia questions.
All right, the answer to question number 1. Original jack-o'-lanterns were made from this. The correct answer is turnips.
Question number 2. The item that is banned in Hollywood, but only during Halloween, is silly string.
Number 3. The saint who was originally known as Saul and who was blinded on the road to Damascus was St. Paul.
Number 4. The year that Mother Teresa was canonized was 2016.
Number 5. The patron saint of farmers is Saint Isidore.
Number 6. The saint known as the Little Flower is Saint Therese of Lisieux.
And finally, number 7. The saint whose painting hangs on our Marquette hallway right next to the new gym is the one and only St. John Bosco.
Thanks for playing along. Here now is the one and only Justina Denlinger telling us all about Red Ribbon Week.
Red Ribbon Week is a prevention and awareness week for alcohol and drugs. For Marquette, Red Ribbon Week was celebrated October 22nd through yesterday, and multiple activities were planned for each day. On Monday, it began with decorating the windows and halls, and the high school students could wear Hawaiian shirts to follow the theme of Life is Your Journey, Travel Drug-Free. In the spirit of Tuesday's theme, Know Your Direction, Stay Drug-Free, students had compasses drawn on their hands. Wednesday's activity featured a treasure hunt in each of the classrooms as students read a treasure map which led them to licorice. That day's theme was Follow the Map to a Drug-Free Life. Thursday, students enjoyed an obstacle course activity for the theme Don't Let Obstacles Get in Your Way, Stay Drug-Free. And finally, Friday's activity was to wear a red shirt and, if students wanted to, wear face paint for the theme of Travel Together on a Drug-Free Journey. For Marquette in Motion, this has been Justina Dunninger.
Thanks, Justina. Now here are Jeb and Garrett with the sports report.
Thanks, girls. Volleyball started off this week with their second round of districts against Central Elkader on Monday, October 22nd.
Even though the Mohawks put up a tough fight, they were not able to take home the victory. This marks the end of the 2018 volleyball season. Good job, girls, and congratulations on an amazing season.
Also, congratulations to Sunny North and Sydney Jacobs, who made Academic All-State in volleyball this year.
As well as Jeb Schwager and Macy Kramer, who made cross-country Academic All-State. All their hard work in the classroom and their respective sports has paid off with this great honor.
Today is a regional swim meet where Marquette's own Tori Mickle will be competing. Tori's results will be in next week's edition.
Yesterday, October 26th, the Marquette State Qualifying Girls Cross Country team was sent off with a pep rally in preparation for their run, which takes place later today.
The state meet is taking place in Fort Dodge, and the girls are set to run at 2 o'clock this afternoon.
Just a little history about the state cross country meet. This meet has taken place at the Lakeside Golf Course near Fort Dodge since 1993.
And for history of Marquette cross country, this will be the 9th state appearance that the girls cross country team will be making at the state meet, including the 3rd appearance in a row.
We wish the runners good luck, and we will have those results in next week's edition.
For Marquette in Motion, this has been Jeb Schwager
And Garrett Krieg
with your Marquette Sports Report.
Thanks, guys. Don't go away. We'll be back with more Marquette in Motion after the break.
Welcome back to Marquette in Motion. Here now is Luke Keys interviewing Mr. Jeff Tebby.
Hello, everyone. This is Luke Keys for our segment, which we call Meet Marquette. Today's person to be interviewed is Mr. Jeff Tebby. Hello, Mr. Tebby.
How's it going, Luke?
Good. Now, can you tell us a little bit about yourself?
Well, I'm a 1990 graduate of Bellevue Marquette, so I'm an alumni here. I have a degree in theater. I am currently a professor of speech communication at the University of Wisconsin-Platteville.
Very cool. Now, what made you decide to take the job as play director here at Marquette?
Well, I was contacted by the principal, Kaiser, and he asked if I'd be interested in directing shows this year here at Marquette because the previous director could no longer do it. And my name was brought up by the school board because they know my work. I direct shows in Dubuque, and I looked at my schedule. It worked out, so I said, yeah, I could direct the shows here at Marquette this year.
Nice. Now, this year's fall play is called Clue. Can you tell our listeners more about the show and why you chose it?
Well, Clue is a comedy murder mystery, if those words belong together. It's based on the Parker Brothers game, Clue. We have the classic characters, Mr. Green, Mrs. White, Mrs. Peacock, Professor Plum, Miss Scarlet, Colonel Mustard, and they all are gathered together in a mansion, and they all have reason to be there, and they also have reason to commit murder. So the entire play is kind of who done it, or maybe the other question is who didn't do it.
Now, beyond the stage crew, many volunteers have been enlisted to help with the set. Can you give us a preview of what they're creating?
Well, we've had volunteers, first of all, pull in costumes, because each of the costume has a color theme, so finding that kind of stuff was a big deal. But yeah, also a lot of volunteers helping build the set. This, from what I've been told, is the biggest set on the Marquette stage for a very long time, because if you remember the board game Clue, this is a mansion with many different rooms where action takes place or whatnot. So we have an upstairs level, we have levels coming out from the sides, we have a staircase, we have secret passageways. So yeah, creating inside of a mansion on the Marquette stage, that was a big project to undertake.
Do you have a favorite scene, and will you provide the pad and pencil so the audience members can keep track of clues throughout the show?
My favorite scene actually is what we're calling the chase scene, the scene that happens right after intermission. It's one thing to think up something in your head and then another thing to see it come alive. This scene is set to music, And you're never sure if it's going to work to actually get out there and rehearse it, but you know what? The actors got it. They got the timing. They pulled it off. So that's, I think, one of my favorite scenes. Yeah, finding clues, keeping a pen and pencil. You might want to bring your own, but there are clues throughout the show. I mean, if you are paying attention, you should be able to figure things out. Now, not to say there aren't red herrings, fake outs throughout the show, but yeah, just like the game Clue, bring your pad and pencil, write down what you think, and we'll see how you do.
And finally, what are the performance dates and times?
All right, November 8th, 9th, and 10th. Now, those are Thursday, Friday, Saturday night at 7:30 p.m. at the Lynch Auditorium at Marquette.
Well, thank you very much for being here, Mr. Tebby.
You're welcome.
And thank you, listeners, for tuning in once again to this segment in which we call Meet Marquette. This is Luke Keys signing off.
Thanks, Luke. Here now are Macy and Amy looking ahead.
There will be no school on Monday the 29th due to our teachers partaking in professional development.
On Wednesday, we will be having a Marquette Family Fun Day for a portion of the afternoon. That day, students and faculty are invited to dress in Marquette attire and will face off in a friendly game of volleyball.
On Thursday, the 1st of November, high school students will be participating in Make a Difference Day, and K-5 students will be attending a Saint celebration hosted by Marquette's SAD organization.
Also on Thursday, there is a junior high girls basketball game in the MEC against Easton Valley starting at 4.
On Friday and Saturday, Tori Mickles will be competing in the state swimming meet, and on Saturday, Sophie Long will be participating in the state dance solo competition.
For Looking Ahead, this has been Macy Kramer
and Amy Sieverding for Marquette in Motion.
Thanks, girls. And remember that you don't have to spend your Saturdays solo. We're just a radio dial turn away.
For Marquette in Motion, this has been Miranda Peters
And Hallie Kilberg. And remember,
Stay informed,
stay involved,
stay in motion.